Hi and welcome to this live Forex Strength and Weakness Table video. My name is John. I'll be taking you through the charts this Monday the 17th of October. So here in front of us we can see the live Forex Strength and Weakness tables. We have two tables. We have the Trend Traders table and the Day Traders table. These are the same studies, just highlighting different time frames. You can see here some of the currencies are highlighted in green. Those are showing us that there is a confluence between the two trading time frames. The currencies that are highlighted in green are going to be the focus of these videos. We will often talk about the ones that are not highlighted if we see that they are recurring currencies on the charts. Now we have a lot to go through today. We have lots of confluences between the two time frames. So we can see that from the trend trader side of things, the pound is S1, that's the same on the day traders. The dollar is S2, S3 on the day traders, and the euro is the third strongest, second strongest on the day traders. On the weak side of things then, so on the trend traders, W1, the weakest currency, is the Australian dollar. It is W2 on the day traders table. Yen has come on to W3 on the trend traders table and W1 on the yen table. Now before we dive into the charts, let's just go into the Forex economic calendar. You can see throughout the entire week that we don't have too much in the way of US data this week. We do have some US data today at 1:30 p.m, so that's something to be aware of, but we are quite light this week on US data. Now if you want a more in-depth analysis on news and you want some morning reports, then if you head on down to the banner at the bottom of the page, follow this banner, it will take you to News Squawk, where you can access a 7-day free trial. Well worth doing. Going back to the live Forex Strength and Weakness tables then, we've got several charts that we can look at. We could look at pound versus the Australian dollar. We can look at pound versus the yen. We can look at Aussie US versus the US dollar, dollar versus the yen, and euro versus the Australian dollar, and euro versus the yen. So lots of charts to go through. Let's dive into the first one. So I've got up here pound Aussie. Pound has recently found some support in the market, and we've seen that pound has started to strengthen, which is reflected on the live Forex Strength and Weakness tables, and the Australian dollar remains pretty weak. Now we can see here that price is currently trading above a key level of 1.7850. The next area of resistance is just slightly above, so we've got the 118, the 1.8150, sorry, I should say, just a little bit higher up, which is this previous swing high over here. So price could potentially be on its way to that area from a lower time frame perspective. From the higher time frame perspective, you probably want to wait for a pullback into an area with multiple confluence. So if you've got the 1.7850 handle in line with the 200 moving average, and even maybe around this structure of previous structure highs at the 1.7650, anywhere in this zone could see buyers re-enter the market. So if price was to pull back into this area here, that could be an opportunity to see price trade back to the upside. You can see here on chart partner, if I just zoom out a little bit so you can see chart partner in the corner over here, you're probably wondering what is that. Well, this is chart partner. Chart partner gives us lots of details on our market. You can see that we're currently on pound Aussie and on the daily chart. You can also see our updates here, so if you wanted to head over to the traders calendar, all you have to do is click on your chart here and it will take you to that page. You can also see that there's a statement here today that UK Hunt to make a statement today. So what other information do you have? You have the open, the high, the low, and the spread, so the cost of doing business. You then also have some figures up here, so you have the change figures. So if I just highlight that, you'll be able to see that these banners highlight what it is. So you've got the today's change, so you can see that we're down 0.2% on the day. We are actually up 2.9% on the week, and then 5.5% up on the month. So you can see if the market is maybe overextended under it, or has room to go, or is overbought, oversold essentially, due to the fact that these figures could get quite high. So it might give you a better description of what the currency pair that you're focused on is doing. So all that information all in that top left hand corner, so you don't have to struggle looking at your toolbar here on MetaTrader 5. So going into pound Aussie in a little bit more detail, then let's just drop down into the 4-hour time frame. We actually discussed pound Aussie on Friday because it appeared on the charts, and what we talked about was seeing this strong impulsive leg above this level. Then if price was to come back to this level of interest, which was the 1.7850, and find some support, then we could see long opportunities back to the highs and back to this other key area above. Now, if price is going to trade higher here, like the live forex strength and weakness table suggests, you can see that pound Aussie is topping the charts on trend traders and is nearly topping the charts on the day traders. Then we could expect price to break out of key resistance levels. So if I pop back up to the daily time frame here, we can see that if price trades above the 1.8150 handle, then a move up to 1.9150 isn't off the cards there, because that is kind of the next level of key resistance. Let's stick on the Australian dollar then, and we're going to open up Euro Aussie. And what is Euro Aussie doing? Well, you can see again chart partner highlighting that we've just changed over to Euro Aussie. We're on that daily chart, and price has traded above the major 1.53 level. You can see key significant level in the past. Price is approaching some historical trendline level. You can see here that price has found resistance in the past here on numerous occasions, and we're heading towards that level once again. If we go down to the 8-hour or even down to the 4-hour, just so we've got a little bit more context, we can see that price is continuing to make those higher highs and higher lows in the market. That's what we would expect to see if the price was in an upward trend. Now you can see here we had a large impulsive move. We're having a slight correction here now. So if price was to trade above these previous structure highs here, we could look for breakout opportunities to the upside there. Moving on to our next pair of interest then. So we're going to focus on the Aussie US dollar now. Let's just find Aussie dollar here in the list. Here we go. Aussie US dollar. So we've been talking about Aussie US dollar downside for some time now. If we just go up to our rolling forex strength and weakness tables, go back to last week's information, we can see that Aussie US dollar was featured heavily on our charts last week. Okay, so it was featured in pretty much every video last week. The week prior to that as well, you can see that Aussie US dollar was on the tables here. So Aussie US dollar is a chart that has been on our watch list for some time, with opportunities to trade to the downside. So that's going to be our focus here on this pair. We're going to look to see if price will continue towards a key point of interest, because we're looking to see if price will trade to the 0.6050 handle. You can see here last week we had a really strong bearish close. We traded below the 0.6360 lows, which was just through here. Now we were looking to see if price would retest the 0.6360 before seeing a continuation to the downside, but instead price came in just shy. So if I just zoom in here, you can see we came in just around the 6350 handle instead, before price started to turn down. And you can see we had a strong impulsive move. At the moment we're only having a very small correction, so that could lead to another impulsive move to the downside here. So you could be looking to see if there are lower high forms, maybe around the 0.63 handle, which is around these previous highs where sellers entered the market, or if price was to trade through the lows here at the 0.6190 handle, 0.6190 handle, then price could trade down towards that key area of interest, which is the 0.6050. That completes our Australian dollar pairs. So let's go to our other pairs of interest then. So we're going to take a look at pound yen. So we're going to head over to the yens. Actually, we'll change my mind. I'm going to go to dollar yen first because dollar yen is our major currency. So we're going to flip over to dollar yen because we've had some significant developments here. You can see that price is trading above the 147 handle, which is the 1998 highs. So if I actually go to the monthly time frame here and zoom out, you can see that these are the significant 1998 highs. The next level of interest, or the next high of interest, is the 1990 highs, which is the 160 handle. So you can see here potential significant move to come here for dollar yen. Now, why could dollar yen continue to the upside? Well, fundamentally, we have the dollar, which has a really strong economy at the moment. The Federal Reserve are looking to hike interest rates significantly and for maybe an extended period of time now. And the Bank of Japan have done little to talk about any kind of hiking of interest rates. So they have done no hiking at the moment, nothing to control inflation, and they have that's why the yen has suffered essentially, and that's likely to continue. Now, the Bank of Japan have tried to intervene recently. If I just go down to the daily time frame, you can see here the Bank of Japan around this areas here. You can see lots of selling coming into the market. That was the Bank of Japan trying to intervene into the market, but you can see the price never really traded below the 141 spot 50 handle. It never really gave any kind of extensions to the downside here. Instead, we consolidated and now we've broken higher. So looking at this from a sort of trend trader's opportunity, I'd want to see some kind of pullback in this market. However, we may not get that due to the strength and weakness of this market. You can see here we've had a strong impulsive phase on the 4-hour time frame. Price is now consolidating, so a break above the 148 spot 90 handle could give breakout traders opportunities to trade to the upside. One thing I will say is we do have to be very careful with our yen pairs at the moment because the Bank of Japan will look to intervene. There are already some murmurs that the Bank of Japan are going to intervene again, and if they do, we could get a sharp move back to the downside. However, that may be short-lived, but maybe that's the way you're going to approach this market. Wait for the intervention, wait for a pullback into significant levels like the 147 handle or even the 144 spot 75 handle before looking to do anything with the yen pairs. That being said, let's move on to pound yen. So why are we focusing on pound yen? You can see that pound is topping both tables for strength and the yen is on the weak side of it. W1 on our day traders table showing us that the lower time frames are saying that the yen is the weakest currency. Now, we talked about pound yen last week. We actually talked about getting long in and around these areas here. This previous high, the 165 spot 75 handle, and or even the 165 spot 50 handle, which were these previous structure highs through there. Price did find support, and we look for targets up at this key area of interest, which was the 168 handle. So if you did follow through with that move there, you would have pocketed yourself a nice 240 pips. Really significant move in the market there. But now we're back at this area of interest. Now, if the yen is going to continue to weaken and pound strengthen, then the 168 handle should be broken and we could see further upside in this market. If I just zoom out slightly, you can see that we have a historical trend line up here, which coincides with the 175 spot 50 handle, so that could offer again some significant moves to the upside. But like before, I would just say be a little bit careful. Pound yen would be a high volatility pair at the moment, not just because of what's happening with the yen, but what's also happening in the UK. You can see here UK Hunt to make a statement today. Now, Hunt is the new finance minister after the recent one was sacked. Mr. Kwarteng was sacked. So there is significant headline pressures on the pound at the moment, which could also affect the pound yen. So a very volatile pair to trade at the moment. So if we were to trade above the 168 handle, we could see some significant moves here, but just be a little bit careful when it comes to risk on pound yen. Going on to euro yen then. Why are we interested in euro yen? Well, euro our third strongest on the trend traders, second strongest on our day traders. Euro actually been fairly strong for a while. You can see if I just go into the historical 30-day rolling tables, you can see that euro has featured here for quite some time. So especially for the month of October. So, euro strength continuing. Euro yen breaking above the 144 handle. Looks like we are going to see a significant breakout if we do get towards the 146.60 handle, which is just above, or the 145.50, I should say. If price was to trade above 145.50, we could see some significant upside to this market. We'll just go to the weekly time frame and zoom out a little bit. The next area of interest for euro yen is up at this 150 handle through here. So looking to see if price will trade up to these highs, which were the highs that formed back in 2014. So looking to see if price will head towards those levels there. If I just zoom back in, we'll go down to the lower time frame. We can see that price has broken through this area here, and we haven't really had a significant pullback. Price has just been straight lining through this area at the moment. So I would like to see some kind of higher low being formed here for then an opportunity to trade back to the upside. So maybe a retest of the 144 handle could offer some opportunities for buyers to step back into the market here. That's all I've got time for today. Thank you for watching this video update. If you are watching this at a later date and are interested in any of the services that could be available to you, please head over to charlesclifton.co.uk for more information. Here you can see we have a trial period for £1. You can test all this out for yourself and see if it is for you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.